Okay. I lost the screen for a minute. So my name is Sheena Graham. I taught music for almost 40 years. I am now considered to be a retired teacher. I was born and raised here in the US, and I am actually 65 years old now. Yeah, I'm 65. I was actually born many, many years ago, 1961.
Okay. And I needed the print. Yes. Where is it? Yes, come. Good evening. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My name is Mahesh Babu. I am from GPHS Penmaka. Ma'am, may I ask you one question with your permission, ma'am?
Yes, you may.
How are performing arts like drama, music, or dance used during the school day in US schools?
So here in the US, it depends on what grade you're in. So we have schools that are pre-K, which is like age 4, through grade 3, which would be about 8 years old. So if you're in those grades, what happens is you have what they call general music. So they teach you about music, how to read notes, um, how to know the difference between loud and soft and things of that nature. But once you hit grade 4, then you choose an instrument. So you can choose, I don't know if our instruments are the same, but we have what we call band instruments that are woodwind, brass, string, or percussion. And students get to choose those instruments. And then 9 through 12, you can choose other things as well as dance and drama. So during the school day, you would have a class, and it might be 45 minutes long. You might have that class 2 or 3 times in a week. So some students actually have an hour and a half of each one of those classes every week.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My name is Harika. I am a ninth grader from GPHS Penma. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
How do after-school creative writing activities help students express their thoughts and feelings?
Well, the after-school activities allow students some freedom of thought. So here, a lot of times in class, they ask you a question and they want a specific answer. But when you have creative writing, that's when you get to have the freedom to choose what you write about and how you feel about it. So what that does is that teaches the students to find out more about themselves and how they think, how they operate, and how they can change the world with their own thoughts. Does that make sense?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My name is Divangar Santosh. I am ninth grader from GBHS Penmaka. May I ask you one question?
Yes, you may.
How do arts activities support students' emotional health and well-being in schools?
The arts help students in many different ways. One is it helps them to feel better about themselves. And for many of our students here, that's the reason they stay in school. We have some students that don't like math, they don't like science, they don't like the subjects that they have to take all the time. So when they get to do something that they really like a lot, then it makes the rest of their school day easier. So, for example, I have one student who I think some of you are juniors, he said. A junior here is somebody that's in 11th grade. So I had one student who was not going to his classes, and so they kicked him out of school. But he was a very, very good music student. That's the only class he went to. So I spoke with the principal and we made a deal. If he um, was allowed to come back to my class, That meant he had to finish all his other classes, and he did. So for that student, it helped him to graduate.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
My question is, what changes do you see in students when they take part in performing arts and creativity writing programs?
So the kind of changes I see, um, it varies from student to student. There was one young man who did not have my class, but he heard music coming out of my classroom after school. And it turns out I invited him in with the other students, and he had an amazing voice that he didn't know he had. And he actually became a better student in school. And then he went on to start his own music group. So now he has graduated college and he's still singing professionally. You're very welcome.
Okay, Shena, I have a few questions.
Okay.
What kind of career opportunities are there for students if they complete a diploma at school level in music or drama? What sort of chances are there in future to take them as a career?
Well, there are many careers that a student can end up in. So, for example, if they were either a choral student where they sung or they played an instrument, they can actually become a teacher that then teaches others how to do those things. But other professions they can have is suppose they're very good in music and they're very good in math, can become what's called a business manager and they manage other musicians. Some of the students might be good in music, but they don't want it as a career and they're excellent with computers. So what they do is they create music on the computers and sometimes we call them jingles. So if you hear a commercial and you hear music, it might only take 15 to 30 seconds. They can create that on a computer, and that's actually a job where you make very good money because every time that jingle is heard, money goes into your pocket. So there's all kinds of everything from music and law to being a stage director behind the curtains. It's endless. There are so many careers.
Okay, thank you so much, Sheena, for your time. And so look at the students; they were enthralled by your song. I think that was composed a long time ago during the period of Corona.
Thank you so much. It's
Yes.
nice to see you all.
And could you please give a message to my students? A message.
Yes, I would like to say to all of you, I'm very happy to meet you all. You have a phenomenal teacher. And I love seeing your room and all the work that you've done to beautify it. It's absolutely amazing. So I wish you well in your school year. I hope that you learn a lot and that you continue to take care of each other and be kind to each other.